Hi.
I'm Krista Wenzel. I'm the president of this Toastmasters Club. And actually, I see someone new. I don't know.
Yes.
Brigitte.
Yeah.
Brigitte.
Yes. Hello. And what is your name?
Brigitte Volance.
Ah, I saw an email. Super. Welcome to our meeting. And we have several guests today. And I will introduce them shortly. As I said, I'm Krista Wenzel. I'm the current president of the club, and I'm also the Toastmaster for today. But first, let me introduce our guests. We have 6 guests today. We have 6 guests today. Possibly more. So first, let me introduce our guests. First, we have Andy, who this is his second meeting. Welcome, Andy. We have Ola, also your second meeting. Welcome back. We have Vonya, and this is your first meeting, so welcome. Ingrid, you're also your first meeting. And Lydia, I think this is your third meeting?
This is already the official member.
And I think it's Berta's second meeting as an official member, correct?
No, the first.
First meeting as an, okay, good. We have a packed meeting today. There is a lot to do. 7.
No.
Welcome back to that. The Toastmasters meeting goes through a very specific agenda, and we will start that agenda shortly after we elect officers for the year. So once a year, we elect new officers. And this happens to be the meeting where we'll do that. We have a lot to do in this meeting, so we're going to do the officers first to make sure that we get it done. And we will do the officers in, I think, a very efficient manner. And as Toastmasters, we're all very good at expressing our points when needed. So we have a slate of officers. If anyone has a nomination for officers that are different from the slate that has been put forward, please state that. So Valerie was our election committee, and she did a fantastic job of talking to many different members to find out what they might be interested from an executive committee standpoint. So our executive committee nominees are, for president, Lily. For Vice President of Education, Sunil, with the backup of Tomo. Vice President of Public Relations, Ilman. Vice President of Membership, Monica, with the backup of ADOT. Treasurer, Brigitte. Sergeant at Arms, Rena. And Secretary, Brigitte. With that said, do we have any nominations for any of these posts? And you must not object later. This is the time, okay? All right, good. So all of those in favor of these nominees becoming the future executive committee, please raise your hand. Okay, good. Thank you. So, we should have at least a motion. Can we have one motion from the floor that we select these nominees? Maybe Valerie?
Somebody else.
Move to, we'll do one with Robert's Rules of Order. Someone moved that we moved.
I move.
That we approved.
I move
Sorry,
like
okay. Did the vote first, that's right. You second it?
Yes.
So Magdalena and Valerie.
I say yes.
So it is so done. Okay, very efficient. Now we can start with the meeting. And it's a very packed meeting, as I mentioned before. I'm the Toastmaster of the day. So what I do is I try to keep the agenda moving along. I try to keep the time. I also have a team of people who help me throughout the meeting. And they are critical to the process. For this meeting, I have chosen a theme. And the theme is things to do in a lifetime. We can keep that theme, or we can diverge and speak about whatever we want to when we have an opportunity to speak. So for that theme, I like to think about what we should do and what we can do in our lifetime. And I know all of us have probably put some thought into this as well. There's a couple of different ways to think about it. One way is to have a bucket list. The bucket list, if you're familiar with this term, is just a list of things that you would like to do in your life. It usually involves traveling to a certain place, or learning a certain language, or sometimes generalizing that you just want to be a good person. The second category of this can be a lifelong commitment. It can be a philosophy of how you want to live your life. It can be, how do I feel about myself? And making sure that you're constantly thinking about you as a person. So there's a lot of ways to look at things to do in a lifetime. Now, as we move through the meeting, I would like to introduce the general evaluator so that she can introduce her evaluation team. Our general evaluator for today is Toastmaster Tomo.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests. For general evaluation, we will evaluate how well you did the meeting today. And to evaluate, we shall try to help you to improve for your future meetings and future speeches. And we try to be constructive and objective as much as possible. We are human beings, so we may include our opinion or our subjective point of view. So if you like our evaluation, you can take it. If not, you can leave it. And to do the evaluation, I'm the team of the evaluation for the speech. The first evaluator, Magdalena.
Tomorrow, may I? Because I have to leave the meeting, Albert kindly will evaluate Ilman's speech.
Okay.
You are in good hands.
And the second evaluator, Victoria. And the third evaluator, Cassis. So first we will have an evaluation of the speech after the speech is made, and also table topics. And then we have the grammarian, James. Would you like to explain the role of grammarian?
Yes. Hello everybody. I am today's grammarian. I am James. I am here to introduce new words and also to record during the speeches if there are any incomplete sentences or interesting uses of grammar. But also I'm going to introduce an optional word for us to use today. And today's word I'd like to introduce to you is reinvigorate. Okay, this is described as giving new strength and energy to something, and I'll give you an example. With the recent referendum in the UK and the hung parliament that we've just elected, we need to reinvigorate our entire process of how we're going to leave the EU.
Thank you for James for explaining the grammarian. And now we also have the timekeeper, Bridget. Would you like to explain the role of timekeeper? Yes.
Hello,
signals during the speech. That means, for example, for a prepared speech, if the allotted time is 5 to 7 minutes, I will show the speaker after 5 minutes the green card. That means there are still 2 minutes to go. After 6 minutes, I will show the amber card. That means 1 minute is left to finish the speech. And after the assigned time, let's say 7 minutes, I will show the red card. That means the speaker has to or should finish her or his speech to be within the assigned time. It's important for the contest because if the speaker needs more than additional half a minute, then the speaker will be disqualified. So it's a good training during our meetings. Thank you.
And we also have our counter Monica, so 3-year-old.
Yes, good morning, fellow Toastmasters. My role today as a aha counter is to count all the ahs and ums, all these gap fillers that actually bother a little bit when we speak and doesn't sound very nice. So we usually charge like 10 cents for each of them, and the maximum that we usually charge is €1 per person. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. So we will come back to here to evaluate after the speeches and the table contest. So back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Tomo. Now we start with the main part of the program, and that is the prepared speeches. Today we have 3 prepared speeches, and many of them lean towards the topic of things to do in a lifetime or things that you might want to do sometime soon. The first one is by Toastmaster Illman, and it's titled, When in Sunda, Do as the Sundanese Do. I had to look up where Sunda was, and I found it to be a very interesting place, and he'll be speaking to us today about what you should and shouldn't do in Sunda. Toastmaster Illman.
Who's here like to travel? I love to travel. I think the world is vast. It's so vast, and you only live once. So I would like to travel to as many places as I could go. And fortunately, nowadays, the world is becoming more globalized. It's traveling to some places more easy and sometimes more affordable. But however, we also have to think, when we travel to some place, we need to, as the saying goes, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. We need to abide of their culture, their customs, and their practice in the local cultures. A couple of weeks ago, a colleague of mine asked me what things to do and not to do if he visits my country, Indonesia. And I said to him, Indonesia is a really big country. I mean, we have 700 languages, so the culture is just so many. But I can tell him of what he could do or not do if he visits my tribe, the Sunda tribes, which lives in West Java. So I told him, when you go there, you will see that the people there are so polite. They love to smile. Smiling is our habit. So when you don't be surprised if someone came up to you smiling and say greetings. They will come to you and maybe they will give their hand and say, hello, I'm Ilman, who are you? And you should take his hand and shake his hand and say also greeting. And he will also do this. After he took your hand, he will put it in his heart. It means that, oh, I accept your greetings, and I put it in my heart. And when you call someone, if it's a male, call him with Pa or Bapa, which means Mr. or Sir. And we usually use our first name. We don't have family name. So we used to have we usually use our first name. So Miss Krista or Mr. Sunil, that's how we call each other. And we don't like confrontation. So do not groan and moan publicly. It is considered impolite to say things that you don't find pleasurable. If you find things that you think it's not correct, you could tell someone or tell that person in private. Which come to the point of this point is that we also hate to say no. We cannot say no because it's also impolite. There are at least a dozen words in our native language of saying yes. However, it could mean no. So when you ask something, oh, could you do this for me? And if that person say yes, but well, it means no. Or if you say, oh, will you come later tonight? And if he says, oh, inshallah, he says, oh, then it means no. So you have to make sure that you have to read between the lines of what they're trying to say to you. Whether they are willing to do your request or they are willing to do something for you. And as I mentioned before, we don't like confrontation, so please don't talk loud. We usually speak rather, how can I say, quiet and with a subdued tone. So you have to listen very careful of, especially elderly, when they're talking to you, because raising your voice is just a big no-no. And try not to point in public with your index finger. This is impolite. If you want to point to something, use this. Oh, over there. Oh yes, go here. That's how the Sundanese. And you should never, ever touch someone else's hand. We believe this is where the soul's located. So it's only parents who could do that to their children. So never, ever touch someone else's hand. And if you are invited to a dinner or to a lunch, wait for your dinner cue. And we also don't talk during eating. If we talk, we usually do it before or after the meal. However, nowadays many Sudanese are exposed to Western culture, so we are mostly getting used to what people do outside of our tribes. So don't worry. Besides, if you inadvertently do something that might be against the culture, we will only just smile and move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Ilman. Now we will take 1 minute for everyone to write comments on your ballot sheet. Pass it to Ilman. We'll pass the cup your first speaker, and we'll pass the cup around to put the comments in. And you can sign your name or not sign your name, it's completely up to you. This is the last. Okay, we'll continue to pass the cup as I introduce the second speaker. Our second speaker today is Toastmaster Yun Ru. He is working very quickly through his book, as is Toastmaster Ilin, so maybe they have a little competition going here. But Toastmaster Yun Ru has a different type of topic to speak about today. He has had some sad news recently, and he will speak about some of the reflections about the meaning of life and what you can leave for a legacy. Toastmaster Yun Ru.
Dear Toastmaster and the distinguished guests, as Krista mentioned, today I would like to share sad news with all of you. 2 weeks ago, my previous colleague and my best friend passed away at his age of 59. I'm so saddened. So why is life so fragile? So we have to rethink the meaning of life. It's maybe as we know, that someone would like to live as longer as possible. Someone would like to pursue the happiness of life, and someone would like to find the secret of the wisdom and knowledge, and someone would like to be close with God and enter heaven. So today I would like to share something I have learned from my friends that was a legacy to me and to the world. And after listening to today's speech, you will get to know 3 more purposes of life. The first thing that I have learned from my friends is to do a good and right thing, particularly in UN with a multicultural environment. As you know, there are a lot of challenges associated with the traditional economic development model. For example, the rapid consumption of natural resources and the severe environmental pollution. And my friend and my previous supervisor, he spent all his whole life to promote the green industry and sustainable development. I think because of him doing this good thing and right thing, he found a lot of supporters all over the world and deliver a very good higher portfolio of projects with more than $100 million to developing countries. And when you do good and the right things, you will become more confident to communicate with people from various nations with different culture and backgrounds. And also, on top of that, you will find it's really excited that all kinds of people will want a same goal. The second thing that I would like to share with all of you that I have learned from my friends is to help others. You may say that helping others is a natural extension of everyone's responsibility. Unfortunately, it doesn't come as easy as we expected, especially for a leader who is very busy. However, my supervisor, he spends a lot of his volunteer time to help others. I still can remember that 10 years ago, when I was an intern in the Ministry of Environmental Protection in my country, he shared his insight and knowledge on environment protection and international aids with me on the training. And even 2 months ago, he also gave me a lot of suggestions on how to promote cement co-processing technologies on the platform of subway station when we were waiting the subway. So I think just because of helping others, he had a lot of friends from all over the world. And the third thing that I would like to share with you, also from my friends, is to educate our children with creativity, live independence. 10 days ago, when I attended Lucy's ceremony, I met his 2 sons. One is undergraduate, and another one is just getting his master's degree. I'm so surprised that they are perfectly calm. And after talking with them, I'm perfect. They can overcome the difficulties in their life and reinvigorate in his life. I think this is the reason that my friends spend a lot of his time to train their children how to survive and live independently. On the contrary, as I know, in China, a lot of parents try their best to prepare everything for their children. For example, buying an apartment or even looking for jobs. So therefore, there is a phenomenon in China. There is a very high percentage of young people depends on their parents, even at their age of 30s and 40s. So now, I strong believe that it's really necessary to educate our children how to live independently, getting over fears, taking risks, and becoming more responsible. To conclude, no good deeds goes unpunished. Maybe my friends never expect any return, but Allah will continue His way to turn the world into a better place than before, to help each other and to educate our next generation to survive and live with honor and courage.
Thank you, Yunru, for sharing such a heartfelt message with us today. Everyone, please, on your ballots for the second speaker, if you have some comments for him.
Can I make a point of order?
Yes.
Would it be maybe possible that before Sunil starts, one evaluator of these 2 CC5 projects reads out the purpose of the project, and the same for Sunil's speech, especially because it's the 10th and it's so important that we are prepared for what's coming.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. Usually we read the objectives of the speech before the speeches. I neglected to do that today. But if we can have one of the evaluators, Toastmaster, who are the evaluators today? Toastmaster Casiza, would you please read the objectives of your speech? When you're evaluating. Oh, I'm sorry, I want to do number 5 first.
First is Abbott or Vicky.
1 second. So, Toastmaster Victoria, could you read the objectives of speech number 5?
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, the speeches we just heard were both speeches of the basic manual, which are the first 10 speaking projects we give here at Toastmasters. It's learning how to speak. And this was Yunro's and also Ilman's speech were the 5th project, called Your Body Speaks. And the objectives of that speech project are: use stance, movement, gestures, facial expressions and eye contact to express your message and achieve your speech's purpose. Make your body language smooth and natural. So the focus is on the body for this speech. Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster. Now, Toastmaster Casiza, would you please read the objectives for Sonal's speech?
Sonal is doing project number 10, which is the final one of the basic manual. So it's the big one, the special one. The objectives of this speech are to inspire the audience by appealing to noble motives and challenging the audience to achieve a higher level of belief or achievement. Appeal to the audience's needs and emotions using stories, anecdotes, and quotes to add drama. Avoid using notes, and actually what it doesn't also say is that it's supposed to reinvigorate all the other speeches, what he's learning, body language, facial expression, vocal variety. So this is the big one, so we're waiting for something really big from him.
And this one has a special timing requirement also. This one is a timing of 8 to 10 minutes. So for the timer, could you tell us when you will hold your cards up, please?
As the assigned time is 8 to 10 minutes, I would show the green card after exactly 8 minutes, the amber one at 9 minutes, and the red one at 10 minutes.
Thank you, Toastmaster. And before I bring Toastmaster Sonal up, I want to mention a couple of things that he passed along to me regarding the things to do in a lifetime. Plant a tree, volunteer abroad, which are 2 very broad scope items. Travel to a different country, which could be included in one of those. Conquer a fear. I think we all probably have that on our list, just being part of Toastmasters. And finally, never give up on your dreams. This leads into the topic of his speech, which is innovation. Toastmaster Sonal on innovation.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests. Innovation is fundamentally changing the way we think, interact, and act. There is not a single sphere where we are not seeing innovation making its headway. We all also realize that if we don't innovate, we will become irrelevant. So what is innovation? And can you and I innovate? Innovation in its simple term is taking an idea and putting it into action that creates value. The important thing is creating value. So are you all prepared to innovate? Let's see. Here is a challenging situation for you. Your car suddenly runs out of petrol. Your mobile phone dies. But there is hope. There's always hope. You have a jerry can of petrol in your trunk. You have to somehow fill the car up again. 5 seconds. What do you think? A lot of ideas coming to your mind. Thinking outside the box. Definitely you did. You were thinking of taking some risks. Yeah? You are about to break some rules as well. You had different viewpoints. At the same time, your belief for change has only grown stronger. You were imagining the impossibilities. Oh my God, suddenly all these lines disappear. And you were challenging status quo. If any or all of these crossed your mind, then I must congratulate you. You have taken the first step towards being an innovative individual, which is creativity. Creativity fosters diversity of thoughts. Diversity of thoughts brings about innovative solutions. Creativity also takes you towards divergent information as against convergent information. And there are many, many innovations in the world which have been purely an output of creativity. Look at this one. 15 million newborns each year are born preterm. These are the figures from WHO, and of which 1 million unfortunately don't survive. And the single biggest cause is no incubator in underdeveloped worlds or developing countries. So a lot of companies and people came forward thinking, what can we do? And they provided with high-tech equipment. But those high-tech equipment do not work in those countries. And a company called Changing the Mind created this incubator using car parts, using Toyota car parts, which is available almost everywhere. A creative thinking now saves up to 60% of infants in those underdeveloped countries. That is creativity. That is creativity. Northwest Airlines. Airline industry is now undergoing a lot of crunch because of rising fuel prices, because of regulations, and also a number of security challenges that they're facing. So how do they innovate? Northwest Airlines saved $500,000 by slicing the lemons from 10 pieces to 16 pieces. Not difficult, but creative. So as you can see, to innovate, you can also be creative and bring about changes in your lives, in your society, at work, by simply introducing smaller changes all the time. Self-check-ins. We know about them. They were introduced about 10 years ago, and today, self-check-ins are becoming more and more popular. They save 58% of the space. They have reduced the time for check-in by almost half in most of the cases, up to 80% throughput in the number of successful check-ins. And all this has happened by a single creative idea that let's empower users. Let's give them a chance to do what they like to do themselves. That is creativity. So while you've been creative, you must say, where do I start? Where do I begin innovating? How can I start? If you look at this ad from Bentley, they say we start where others stop. This is exactly what you can do. And all these dramatic inventions and innovations in the world were not created by these companies. IBM did not invent the first PC. And IKEA has transformed the world of furniture, but they were not the first ones to invent or discover furniture. At the same time, Nike was not the first one in sports goods. Apple was never into smartphones before, they were into iPhones. And likewise, if you look at Airbnb, it has changed the way the travel and the hospitality industry is now working, right? Uber has transformed the transportation industry. It's about one of the most disruptive changes. So you can see that all these companies which have become number one in their field have never been the first ones to either invent or innovate the basic idea. Facebook was not the first social media site, we know that. But it is now the most popular one, primarily because of innovation. And Tesla was never the first electric car maker, it was General Motors. So we can take the ideas that are existing today and transform them by bringing about value. As I said in the beginning, innovation is about taking your ideas, putting them into action, and creating a value. But with everything you try, there are chances that you may not succeed. But here's a new word for what we call as failure: fall forward. Have you heard that before? Right. Every time I fall back upon my faith and my belief. Otherwise, I always fall forward. And there are people who have been successful in their lives, who have experienced failures again and again and again, but the only failure they hit was when they said, I give up. So your tendency to fall back can be your biggest failure, but your ability and desire to fall forward will take you to the next step of success. Remember this person? Yeah? Thomas Edison. 1,000 failures before he finally got to the electric bulb. 1,000 failures. Abraham Lincoln. Look at his scorecard. Failed, defeat, finally becomes the President of the United States. And Oprah Winfrey, we know her all. Unfit for office. This is what she got when she started her television career. So, if you want to innovate, you've got to be creative, you can take ideas from others, and continue to fall forward. Every time you fall back on your belief and your faith that you will succeed one day, definitely. Wright brothers. In fact, they were not the first one to fly a machine. The person was Samuel Langley. But Samuel Langley was a little bit impatient. Whereas Wright brothers, they continued to pursue their dreams. And they say that they used to take up to 5 different sets of parts every time they used to go out to fly. And in 1903, they had their first success. 12 seconds only. 36.5 meters. And that innovation has led to revolution in aviation industry. The Airbus A380 now has a span of wings which is 79.8 meters long. Right? That is what innovation leads to. Getting an idea and using your creativity to develop something that's amazing. Idea killers. You will find that one of the biggest challenges to innovation is idea killers. And we have them everywhere. Every nook of corner, in every society, in every office. But the biggest idea killer is who? Do you know that? The biggest idea killers are we ourselves. And at this point in time, I would like to volunteer for an obstacle that I want to perform. Any volunteers here? Great, please. Congratulations. You have just won this coffee mug. The question to you all is that why don't you come up here? What was holding you up? I'm sure a lot of thoughts was going into your mind. I don't know what's up there. I don't know what he might ask me to do. I'm not prepared for it. I don't want to embarrass myself. But what you've effectively done is missed an opportunity. And these opportunities are there everywhere. Everywhere. We have to make our own destiny and look for these opportunities by taking risks, by being creative, by willing to change, by having the ideas to conquer impossible. And if you did that, you would certainly be successful and be an innovative person. For example, Post-it idea was knocked down again and again by 3M until it became successful. Graham Bell asked for funding from Western Union, but they declined it until he finally got it from AT&T and then the Bell Labs, which led to the creation of telephone. Twitter, the guy who came out with the idea of Twitter was sacked by their employers, because this is where they didn't want to go. They wanted to compete with Apple in iTunes and iPod area. And this is the blueprint for Twitter, a simple idea which is now a 5 billion industry. So before I conclude, I want all of you to perhaps take this pledge that we will reward success, we will celebrate failure, and we will punish inaction, because innovation is the only way to win. Madam Toastmaster.
Everyone, please take 1 minute to give comments to someone. We have heard 3 excellent speeches today on ways to reinvigorate our lives. Now it is time for the impromptu part of our meeting, where we have a table topics master who provides information so that people can answer in their own way on an impromptu topic. With that, I'm going to introduce Toastmaster Elise for the table topics portion of the meeting.
Fellow Toastmasters, yes please?
I forgot something to explain concerning the timing for the table topics. May I just mention it? Okay. For the table topics, the goal time is 2 minutes. That means I will show after 1 minute the green card, after 1.5 minutes the yellow card, and after 2 minutes the red card. So the maximum you should speak is 2 minutes 30 seconds. Otherwise, in a contest, will be qualified. Thank you. Sorry for this interruption.
No problem. Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, Madam Toastmaster President, daily topics is dreadful thing, isn't it? Everybody is scared. I look around here, everybody says like this, I'm not seen by him. I will not be picked up by him. But let's make it easy today, because I'm in the same boat. What kind of question should I pose to you? And I thought, daily topics is something like an opener of a conversation. Just imagine we meet each other in an elevator. We say, hi, isn't the weather nice? No, we are a little bit more advanced, I think. We want to find something out because we want to interact with each other. So, for example, I have 3 victims in mind. One is sitting over there. Yes, don't look away. He will And yeah, you are a volunteer.
Good. Now, may I start with the first one, who is already so relaxed. I briefed him a little bit. He's not a member, but I hope that he becomes one. And he should practice now his public speaking skills, especially as he knows me a little bit. He's my ex-colleague. I retired, by the way, and therefore I need his advice along the lines of the motto of this meeting. What was the motto? What to win a lifetime. Yeah, correct. What to win a lifetime. Andy, you know me a little bit. You don't need to know my bucket list, but just give me an inspiration, something to reinvigorate me for the next few years. Please, Andy.
So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, thank you very much, Alex, for choosing me to speak. What you should do, what should you do in your retirement to reinvigorate your life? As someone who still has a few years to go until retirement, but is still looking forward to retirement, what can I say? I would say you should grow old disgracefully. You should disgracefully. You should forget about work completely, never think about it again. You should ignore all of society's rules. You should push into queues. You should forget people's names deliberately. You should undercharge. You should hand the wrong amount of money in shops. This is your opportunity to live life to the full now and really break society's rules. Pretend you're slightly deaf when somebody wants to give you a job to do. I'm sure you already do this now. What else? This is your opportunity to travel. You could travel the world, see new places. You come to England, it's a lovely place. We would welcome you with open arms. Except when we leave the EU, then there may be other issues and things. And now I'm slightly running out of things to say, so I'll leave it there. But grow old disgracefully, that would be the motto I would give to you.
I'm surprised, Andy. You are a perfect Toastmaster. I mean, you were coming out with witty comments, and I really have to, it's not so difficult to follow your advice because I'm forgetful already. What was your name? You were the second one, yeah? Your name is?
Lydia. I'm the third one.
Lydia. And you are? Your name? Birte. Birte. Okay, you are next. You are a member, right? You said, but you have to pay it. Well, yeah, you have paid today, but our treasurer doesn't know it. So, Birte, what kind of advice would you give me? Seeing that I am now retired for half a year, I have tried to recover from work because it was a traumatic experience over the last 32 years. And now what are the nice things to do in life? What would you do when you are in my position?
Okay, the first thing I would do is to travel around the world, places I always wanted to see.
For example?
For example, I want to visit South America, and this would be the first thing I would do. In your case, other things that I would do is I would do sports and spending time outside in the nature. And and if I had children or a family, I would spend a lot of time with them. And so yeah, that would be my plans.
In my case, if they want.
Yeah, so that would be my advice to you.
Okay, and for the next how many years?
I don't know, forever.
Do you have something else in mind for my future? Just imagine we are sitting, we are standing in an elevator, we are just leaving ground floor and we are now on the 10th floor. We haven't reached yet the 28th floor. We still have to continue our conversation.
create a new hobby for yourself.
Yeah, for
Maybe,
example.
I don't know,
I haven't
cooking,
tried. What?
cooking maybe.
For my kids, yes. Okay, I will try. Maybe you can give me a recipe once. But anyway, I think the elevator has.
Now we'll
reached out. Yeah, we have to end it now. Like Ilman said. Yeah, Lydia. What kind? No, we have to go down again because the sun
We didn't
is.
like the dance floor. The music was bad on the dance floor. We decided to go back maybe.
Yeah, okay.
Same question.
Yeah. What to do?
Well, I always like to skip all the automatic questions and shallow questions and responses when I'm meeting someone. And I'm trying to skip to a question that will bring you from your, what we call system 1 thinking to system 2. So something that actually will make you think a little bit, and therefore you will remember that person much more, even if you only met for a brief moment. So in your case, I'm thinking I could offer you to do the following. Maybe you feel, unfortunately I'm not familiar with your background, so probably that would be my first shallow question to ask you to get the idea going, but what I would suggest is maybe you feel like you have something to share with younger generation outside your house and not only me and your kids, because I feel like us, my age, I'm not gonna say it, but most of us are very much lost these days because we have so many opportunities waiting for us, and we spend years sometimes figuring out what we want to do. So sometimes what I'm missing is an insight to what I should start with from someone who's been through it and someone who has kind of an upper side over it. So maybe you could start an initiative, or just start a club where you just have people around who can ask you for mentorship, for the advice that you can give them for a start, or maybe even more than that. And yes, I think that could be a good way to leave a little legacy after your retirement.
Yeah. I tried to form a club. It was not working, but I brought some people in here who were part of the first initiative. I showed some interest in showing or helping other people in, for example, older homes. So this is actually rewarding, especially when you see.
I feel like we're still having the conversation.
That's good. Isn't that nice? A different way of having a table topic. It's more relaxed then, and without fear, right?
Well, maybe with a little bit less of fear.
Yeah, maybe I should consider helping younger generation as well. Maybe I should go to university, for example, although I didn't want to go there. But I'm discovering at the moment Vienna, because while I was at work, I had no time really to see what's going on. At the moment, I'm surprised how many interesting things are going on in Vienna, and everybody in Vienna, I think, should make use this opportunity to get out, get some tan. I see some people who have some color, but as a sign of being out in the city and discovering new things, maybe you should leave the office before 6 o'clock in the evening. And
Unless you need to go to the university afterwards.
yeah,
If you're a student.
maybe you give yourself a chance of 2-3 days a week. Then hopefully, yeah, I think my president tells me already that I should end it. Okay, the elevator was here already. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for the patience, Madam President.
Thank you, Toastmaster Eloise. We had 3 very top-notch table topics. There was some high pressure and some back and forth. It was different, but it worked very well. So please, if you would, vote for your favorite table topics person today. The 3 table topics were from Andy, who spoke about, he was very witty, and spoke about, you invited him to England for some time, maybe the next couple of years. And Toastmaster Vic Tm also gave him some ideas of what to do. Toastmaster Lydia gave a very strong one idea of what to do. So please vote for one of those 3, and we'll pass the cup around. And to keep the meeting moving along, because we are starting to run a little bit short on time, so I do ask the evaluators and everyone else to be succinct in your comments. Toastmaster Tomo, could you please come up and oversee the general evaluation part of the meeting?
Fellow members, so now I'd like to move on the evaluation part. But first, I'd like to invite the evaluator of the speeches. And I will start with adult for the first evaluator for the first speech.
Fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, dear man, that was an extremely interesting speech. For the fifth project, in my view, I think you demonstrated a lot of the key skills that are needed. You had good eye contact, you used your body, you moved, and your voice carried well. Those are the key things you were supposed to achieve. But in addition to that, your speech needed a purpose, which you did have. It's just that you were speaking very much freely. So the structure of it was good. And for any speech, structure is very important. So I would just suggest that perhaps rehearsing it helps. You work on the gestures, you work on your voice, and you definitely work on your structure. That helps you organize the speech, it helps you make your message a little stronger and pass the time. So those are the things I believe you can work on. There's still time, you've got 5 more on the book to go through. So there's hope. Take the opportunity, reinvigorate your leadership speaking skills, and continue to practice.
I apologize, maybe I skipped the time report of the speeches before the evaluation.
I just want to mention for the evaluation, normally the time goal is 2 to 3 minutes, and I will show after 2 minutes the green card, after 2 minutes and 30 seconds the amber one, and after 3 minutes the red one. As Toastmaster Adult used only 1 minute and 22 seconds, there was no need to show.
And also, would you report the time of the each speech?
Yes, I will do that later.
After the evaluation?
Yes.
No problem. Then let's move to the second evaluator, Victoria, for the second speech, please.
Fellow Toastmasters, distinguished guests, but especially you, Yunrai. No good deed goes unpunished. That was the title of your speech. And when I first read it, I thought, well, I don't know whether that's such a good idea, to actually use a double negative to promote something positive. But then, as you started to speak and I listened to your speech, I realized, first of all, it was a very personal speech, and that it actually was a kind of eulogy. So it was very clever to use a title with a negative, but actually it's a positive thing. Because there was a parallel in the content of your speech. The negative part was that you lost your friend, who meant so much to you, and we really could feel that. And also your body movements and everything showed this. It was very authentic, you know. And then actually making it a positive thing, because you structured your speech and you pointed out the good things that this very special person left for this world, what he used to work on and how much he tried to do good for the environment. I particularly liked the three purposes that you mentioned that, you know, we all could learn from, and that were kind of suggestions you had for everybody, and you show that very well. Like the first one being to commit yourself to the environment, and the second one helping other people, and then you show very clearly the third one, to educate your children. So by this very touching and inspiring speech of yours, you managed to not only, you know, fulfill the objectives of your project, because your body movements were perfect. You had perfect gesture, eye contact, everything it needs, stance, everything it needs for a good speech. But the content also was fantastic. And it made your speech inspiring. And I believe it also made your speech let the legacy of your friend live. Thank you, Madam General.
Thank you, Victoria. So now let's move to the evaluator assessment of the sub-speech.
Thank you, Madam Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, yes. Sonia. This was number 10. Now, I wasn't being mean on Sunil when I said that he had to reinvigorate all the past skills that you learned from 1 to now. That's part of it. You had to. Number 10 is like that. You have to show that you've gone through it. You have to show that you have learned something. And he didn't disappoint me. I know Sunil. His speeches are always philosophical. You always learn something from his speeches. It's always a bit personal. And this was supposed to be personal. It was supposed to inspire all of us. And I think the way he did it was correct. It was good. We all come from different parts of the world, developed and developing, not developing countries, men and women, different age groups. So visual aids, that's also, you don't see that much in many speeches, but that's one of the skills you have to learn how to use it. And the visual aids shouldn't take over your message. You have to be on top of it. And he did it. You were listening to him, he got a couple of visual aids, but you didn't stay there long. You went back to him. Voice projection. Now, there's not many people who don't need a microphone. Sunil doesn't. His voice goes all the way at the back. And you could hear it in the vocal variety as well. It goes up and down. So you're over there, you know when he's excited, you know when he's going to make you laugh. And he used those skills as well. And the topic was perfect for the audience. I think we were all inspired in his title as well. Even you can innovate. That means he's speaking to every one of us. And he used the flow pretty well. He didn't stay right there. He went back and forth all over. He was a master of the floor. He was showing that, what do they call it? Professionalism. He was showing that Toastmasterism in himself, that he could go back and forth and look at everybody. He made sure that everybody felt that he was talking to them. He was talking to each and every one of us. And it was inspiring. And I have on my wall the Japanese saying, fall down 7, get up 8. You I believe in that. Every time you fall down, just get back up. And this is what it is. Innovate. You don't have to stop. You continue. And if you fail, it doesn't mean that you give up. You continue. And that's typical Sunil. Those are the kind of speeches that Sunil always gives. But for the 10th, I think he did it very well. I think he did provide us, he did show all the skills that he did learn, the facial expression, the body language. You saw his body language, back and forth. He was just showing you with his arms, his hands. You didn't even have to listen. You could look at him and you knew what he was talking about. You look at the visual aid and you knew what he was talking about. So everything he was up that was up there, he was telling you how important that speech was. He was telling all of us, he was trying to inspire all of us, it can be done. Try and do it. So I thank Sunu very much. It was a very nice speech, and I congratulate you for finishing. And now I think he gets his, well, the president will tell you what he gets. After finishing number 10, the first, the competent communication man. Thank you very much, Sunu.
Fellow Toastmasters, honoured guests. Time is short, so I will be brief and try and reinvigorate you all. Thank you very much. Excellent pace. I know I'm not the general value, but really good use of English, I would say. There were some main comments for Ilman. It's just some basic errors in grammar, which I'd like to go as many places as I can go rather than could go when in Rome, not Rome's. And really, otherwise it's fine. There's a mispronunciation of subtle. You said sutil, but that's fine. Unri grammar is excellent, really excellent. I think you've done a lot of. I mean, I appreciate everyone's not first language English, but it's just the pronunciation is really struggling. I struggle to understand things when you say things. So I fight the bat for the BBC World Service because their pronunciation is really good. Sunil, amazing, really good grammar. It's really quite really well done on that. I think it's really good. Creativity, you pronounce that well, but creativity. There's two T's in creativity, so it's just difficult to hear it when you said that. But it's really minor. But jargon, please avoid using jargon. Throughput, so obviously it's about the self-checking, getting throughput. It's a very marketing term, but to try to avoid it because not everyone will understand that. I will avoid other things just for time. But thank you very much. Oh, word of the day. Point of order. Excellent use of reinvigorate. Yunri once. Kaziza wins the prize. 2. Krista 1. Eloise 1. Andy 1.
Sorry, may I just add on this word of the day, because I noticed that Yunrei actually used the word during his speech,
Yes, true.
and that is especially, admirable.
Yes.
Thank you. So now let's hear from Accountant Monica.
So this is my report. Toastmasters Brigitte 6 times used the word Alois. Actually, I stopped counting, so please give 1 euro. Tomo 3 times, Adot twice, Victoria once. Thank you.
So I would like to briefly evaluate the meeting. The meeting started almost on time, 12:17, so it was good. And at the beginning, I remember that the topic of the day explained the structure of the meeting. Especially today, we have many guests, so it would be good to explain the structure with the speeches and topic evaluation. And sorry, I forgot maybe to explain the ballot and the voting for the speakers.
We can't hear.
Oh, sorry. To vote the best speakers, is it the role of Toastmasters of the day or to Oh, okay. But if we explain to the guests, I think it will be useful because we have the sheet of paper in front of us, even if the guests don't know what to do. And during the speeches and sessions, Toastmasters they made a very good transition. So you connected throughout the meeting with the same things of lifetime. And table topics. The table topic master, I don't remember that he explained the rule of the table topics. I think it would be useful to explain the rule. It is to practice the improv speech and your time. And also, normally there are 5 questions.
Depends on the time.
Okay. And this table topic session are supposed to help members or guests who do not have opportunity to speak. So if you are not taking any roles or duties, maybe you can prepare that you can be a volunteer to respond to table topics. And I just want to suggest that table topic respondents, we have 5 minutes. So you can remember that you can check the timekeepers, so you can try to limit your time between 1 to 2 minutes. And for the evaluators, I think you all did a very good evaluation. You highlight the strengths, and you mentioned some improvements, and you congratulated the speaker. When you give the suggestion, the improvement, I could suggest you could try to be a bit more specific, and you can give an example for the improvement, so that the speaker will know what exactly they can focus to improve their speeches next time. And overall, I think the meeting went well, and we are a bit behind, but I hope you enjoyed the meeting and hope our evaluation help reinvigorate our future meeting and our next speeches. Oh, sorry, I forgot. So now let's hear from the timekeeper, Bridget, please.
Thank you. I make it quick. For the speeches, the assigned time for Toastmaster England was 5 to 7 minutes, and he took 6 minutes 43 seconds. Toastmaster Jungroy, the assigned time was 5 to 7 minutes. You used 6 minutes 41 seconds. And Toastmaster Sunil took a bit more than the assigned time. It was scheduled 8 to 10 minutes, but actually you spoke 12 minutes and 9 seconds. The table topics, the scheduled time, the goal time is 2 minutes. Bandi spoke 1 minute 23 seconds. Then Birje 1 minute 41 seconds, and Lydia spoke 2 minutes 1 second. For the evaluators, the goal time is 2 to 3 minutes. Toastmaster Adot spoke 1 minute 22 seconds. Toastmaster Victoria spoke 2 minutes and 38 seconds. And Toastmaster Casesa 3 minutes and 30 seconds. This was the time in the report. Today's meeting.
Thank you for the time report. So now I give the control back to Toastmaster David.
Thank you, Toastmaster Tomo. And now we have the great honor of presenting 2 different things. One, we have a table topics winner for today. Ballot keeper, who is our table topics winner?
Hello Toastmasters, honored guests, that was very tight. Toastmaster Andy got 7 votes and Toastmaster Lydia 8 votes.
Wow.
So Toastmaster Lydia is our winner.
A very competitive group. And as Toastmaster of the Day, that concludes this portion of the meeting. I'll now take over the meeting. As I don't have a ribbon.
No?
Yeah. Lily is looking in for So, Toastmaster Lydia. And now, as president, I have the honor of presenting one other very important thing. As Victoria mentioned, we have a manual that we start with 10 speeches in it. And completing that manual is a very important step in Toastmasters. And in fact, it can be something that people look for in their life to do as a goal. After that manual, are more challenges in different manuals. It never ends in Toastmasters. There is no end to the manuals. So I would like to congratulate Sono and ask you to help me congratulate him in earning his Competent Communicator pin today. And this will travel with him also on his name tag. When he goes to conferences, he will always be known now as a Competent Communicator.
Can I just add as a special token for you, Sunil, because I've watched you grow over these, 10 speeches, and I'm so proud that you made number 10. I know you're such a conscientious member. You even delivered project 9 twice because you thought you had to do it one more time. So as a special token of appreciation, but also this is a symbol of good luck, and to keep you on that way, I would like to hand this over to you. Thank you very much.
And now we have our 6 guests. I would like to now ask them to give us in one sentence, if possible, their impression of our meeting today. So there's already a little bit of pressure on you as a future Toastmaster. So future Toastmaster Andy, could you in one sentence tell us what you thought about the meeting today?
Very enjoyable and surprised that I was picked on it, give or take. But very enjoyable.
Toastmaster Ola, what was your impression of the meeting today?
Impressive. I'm so glad to be here, and I really enjoyed Sonia's presentation. Got me really knocked, and I am willing to be much more than he is, or much more than he has done. And then it's like a target, and it's like focus, benchmark. So willing to be better than he is.
Toastmaster Abraham, what did you think about our meeting today?
I thought it was very interesting. I was somehow kind of surprised because I didn't really know what to expect. And it was a lot of public speaking, but I didn't really know the structure. So I think this is very good because then in advance you know always what to expect and how to structure your learning. So I'm always thinking about it.
Thank you for coming. Toastmaster Vanya.
One more inspired. Inspired by this presentation especially. I want to underline it. And I'm very, very eager now to become a competent communicator. Thank you for strengthening that field. And I can't wait to be on this environment. And I feel that the level is high. So I'm very happy to compete in this kind of standard.
And congratulations on volunteering as well. Toastmaster Lydia, what did you think of our meeting today?
Really, I liked it, needless to say. Again, I mean, I came back, there's a reason I came back after 3 times of being a guest. Now as a member, hopefully, if you accept me. And yeah, this is just, it's getting more and more intense, I think, for me personally. And I'm looking forward to getting where you can get. Now seeing how good Sunil is, it's really inspiring. Truly, thank you.
As we all know, we have to put pressure on every single person that comes to the meeting. So, Toastmaster Brian, could you give us a couple of sentences about how you've been so busy lately?
Well, I have been working on a number of meetings that I have been in charge of. I had some travel, but and it has been a lot of work and just didn't have Tuesdays free.
Well, that's it's fine if you didn't have Tuesdays free. But we're very happy to hear from you today, and we'll see you when you are available. And that's true for everyone. We come when we can, and as you can see, with the doors opening and closing, we have no problem with people coming to parts of the meeting. We understand there's a lot going on, and you can come and go as you please. I did want to stress, for the next meeting, the 27th of June, we are getting more and more people signing up for speeches. We had to bump someone today. We had a fourth person who wanted to speak today, and I actually chose to have them move to the next meeting. So start signing up. It's going to get harder and harder to get onto the schedule. And the schedule's available on EasySpeak for many weeks out. At the next meeting, we will turn over officers, and they will start their new shift on the 1st of July. There's an officers training the end of the month for them, and I'll send that out to all the officers. If you are interested in going into officers training, even if you're not going to be an officer, let us know. It's no problem for other people to go, and it's usually very interesting. Are there any last calls, any other bits of information for anyone? Okay, thank you for a super meeting.